Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is a video update for week 4. It's hard to believe we're that far along. Just a few things I wanted to update you on. The discussions really going well. One of the things I'm especially glad to see last week and the week before is that so many of you are able to tie the readings in with your research proposal. You're able to see some connections and how that's helping you. And that's really helpful because that's what those discussions partly are there for, in addition to questions you may have for me. Somebody last week, and then again this week, asked me if I had any suggestions for writing, not just that I've observed from this course, but just in general, things that would help you with the writing process. One of the things I really emphasize is to write your proposal as if you were writing it for a first-year master's student, somebody who really doesn't know anything at all about your topic, whether it's your field of study or qualitative research, either or. Write it in such a way that you really explain it in detail. So somebody who picks it up with no background knowledge, make no assumptions about what they may know, can pick it up and understand your topic and understand, for example, what interviews are, how we use interviews, how we develop interview questions, and how they address certain aspects of a research question, etc. Its advantages, its disadvantages. So write it if you were writing for someone who doesn't know anything about the topic. The other suggestion, make sure that you have some kind of scholarly support for every definition you use and for every methodological choice that you make. So, for example, you decide to use interviews. Well, define those interviews. Use scholarly support to support those definitions so that somebody reading it will know you didn't come up with the definition yourself. Advantages, disadvantages, or strengths, weaknesses. Make sure that anybody looking at it would understand what those mean and be able to find scholarly support because you cite it in there. One of the really important things in academic writing is ambiguity. And the higher the level of ambiguity in our writing, which ambiguity means it's unclear or vague. The higher the level of ambiguity, the more likely it is that your reader will interpret what you write in a way different from what you mean. Higher ambiguity, better the likelihood of misinterpretation, we'll say. Lower the level of ambiguity, really clear, explicit language, then it's less likely the reader will interpret it differently from what you, the writer, may intend. And there's a legend we have in the College of Education, and I like to do what I can to keep that legend alive. I don't know if any of you have heard the legend of Burger Boy. One of our more famous, is probably maybe infamous, I'm not sure. This was a long time ago, back when the College of Education used to be located in the admin building. We were on part of the first floor, I think all of the second floor, or most of the second floor, and all of the third floor. This was right after the time I started here. I started working here in '99. And at the time, I would have been 33 or 34. So if it was maybe a day when I wasn't teaching, I might not wear a coat and tie. So I could easily be mistook for another grad student, doctoral student, especially when I had more hair. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's starting to thin out up there, just a little bit. At any rate, at the time, I was quite a bit younger than I am now. So we didn't have printers in most of our offices, so we would have to go across the hall to pick something up if we wanted to print it. So I was across the hall and waiting for something to be printed, and there were these two students sitting there talking. One of them was Burger Boy. Probably should have told you first how he got his name. I'll go back to that. At any rate, Burger Boy was sitting there next to this other guy who Looked like one of those big, tough, bald, green guys that you just don't want to mess with. It was another doctoral student, though. Burger Boy turned to the guy and said, "Are you in counseling?" Now, I think what he meant to say was, "Are you in the counselor education program?" But that's not what he said. He said, "Are you in counseling?" To which the other student turned to him very indignantly and replied, "Why, do I look like I need counseling?" So, clear use of language. Backtrack. How Burger Boy got his name. He came here in 99 or 2000. He was a PhD student in the higher ed program. Gotten his master's degree somewhere else, I don't know. His advisor was Professor Shada, Brent Shada, one of our higher ed faculty, really one of our extraordinary faculty, extraordinary in every respect. And he took advising very seriously. So he would want to know, when he met a new doctoral student, develop their plan of studies. He would ask them what their career goals, their career interests were, where they envisioned themselves 20, 30 years from now. And then they would sit down and develop their plan of studies so that the student would have the knowledge base to be able to succeed in that career path, which makes a lot of sense, although not everyone does that. But that's really characteristic of excellent advising. So Shada looked at the guy and he asked him, "So where do you plan on being 10, 20 years from now?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. I don't know if I even want to stick with grad school, but it beats flipping burgers for now." So there's a good motivation to be in graduate school. So henceforward, he was always known as Burger Boy. Odd thing is, he left after about a year, went to another institution, and switched programs too. You're never going to guess what program he switched to. Guess. Go on, guess. Counselor education. Yeah. He graduated his PhD. I don't know where he is now, but somewhere out there. At any rate, point of it is eliminate the ambiguity in your writing, in your communication, and you'll eliminate the idea that it'll be misunderstood or interpreted in a way that you did not intend. So really clear, descriptive writing. Write it for someone who may not know anything about this topic or about qualitative research. And that's something we also advise in the dissertation process. So these are expectations you're going to encounter again. So keep in mind, it's not about what I want. It's about good academic writing in a way that will get you to and through your doctorate and get you launched on a good career. Or if you're already on your career, help you continue moving forward. But it's not about what I want. It's about what's expected in the profession. So, at any rate, I'll be around. I'll have meetings scheduled again next week. If you have questions, call, email, whatever works. Schedule a Zoom meeting. I look forward to talking with you always. Bye for now.